Yes, sir, I'm logging in.
Sure, sure. Okay. Okay, sure. Thank you. Continue.
Okay. Here we are creating a VPC. So VPC stands for a virtual private cloud, and it is we are isolating the network. And we have to provide the CIDR range, like we are dividing the network into different zones. Like in real-time use case for development, we will use a different subnet and CIDR range, and staging one CIDR range. Like that, we will divide.
Basically, it is something similar to you are dividing your home into bedroom, master bedroom, kids bedroom, kitchen, and then inside you have other portions like toilets, right? Like that, you are dividing your home into smaller pieces, right? Because you meant to say that, I mean, there is a space which is common for all the people. That is a living room, and then you have a bedroom, you have a kitchen, you have a master bed, this one kids bedroom or something, right? Like that, you are dividing the space into multiple parts because it can be utilized by different people, and then it is locked inside. Like that only the purpose. You can keep all the visitors coming in for your living room, but you cannot keep all the visitors coming into the bedroom, right? So similarly, we'll have subnet concept in VPC where we will divide some part of traffic coming to one subnet, some part of traffic restricted for another subnet. So restricted subnet will be the private subnet. The open subnet will be the public subnet. Private subnet is always restricted, something like your bedroom, right? Public subnet is something like your living room. Is it looking good, Shiva?
Yes,
The
correct.
explanation? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, continue.
So it is a very simple VPC. We are not selecting very simple options only. IP CIDR man, all the default options we are selecting. Yeah, VPC was created.
The thing is, in this option, you have to create subnets, you have to create route tables, you have to create internet gateways and everything. It'll be quite complex. But Amazon provides you another option. Shiva, you can delete this VPC. This is a default option, I mean, where you have control of or some automation script to create subnets, route tables, all that. If you have, you can go ahead and do it. Otherwise, it is always better to go with the default option, not the default option, the other option.
Yeah.
VPC and more. He'll show you the screen right now. So you have a second option, VPC and more. That if you select it, automatically you will see the different subnets available, different subnets that can be created like that. See, you will have a 4 subnets, 2 public subnet and 2 private subnets. And VPCs are region specific. Okay, VPCs are region specific. Region means you know, right? What is region? Region is a, yeah, it's a data center meant for a particular country or particular region, very big area. At least around maybe more than 300, 400 square kilometer area, like that. Okay, that is what is region. What is availability zone?
That it can access all the resources.
Availability zone concept is to make sure you are not running out of resources or you are not running out of any problem anytime. In case any disaster happens, that next availability zone will take care of it. Okay. Availability zone is within the region. For example, India is a region. You have Mumbai, you have Bangalore, you have this one, Hyderabad. Like that, 3 different availability zones will be there. When the traffic is routed to a particular region, India region, you will have an option to distribute the traffic or maybe serve the traffic from different availability zones in order to make sure it is highly available. One of the one of the main concept in cloud is highly available, and then highly scalable. There are two different concepts. Highly available is making sure it is always available, no matter whether your system is uh, uh, whether you have some problem with your system, but it will automatically provision another system in the different availability zone to make sure the system is highly available. Highly scalable is depending on the request, depending on the load, it will automatically increase or decrease the number of instances. That is what a highly available, highly scalable. Shiva, you can continue.
Yeah, here we can change this value to get more IPs. Like 16 is the 16 will, I mean, the number 16 means it will give the more 65,536 IPs in this in the block. Sorry,
but 2 to the power 16. Whatever the number you mentioned is 32 minus that number will be your 2 to the power 16. So 32 minus 16 is 16. So end of the day, you will get a 2 to the power 16 IP addresses for your, if you go and put in the calculator, 2 to the power 16 will be 65,556.
536.
So that many IP addresses, 536. Okay, that many IP addresses, you will get it for your network.
In the same way, if I increase it to 18, I'll get a 384. If I increase it to 28, so I'll get only 16 IPs.
Yeah, just look at it. So 2 to the power 32 minus 28 is 2 to the power 4. 2 to the power 4 is 16. So you get the 16 IP addresses for your network. See, depending on how many machines you want to have within your network. Say, for example, you are running a small organization. You expect to have only 100 machines, right? In that case, you will go for maybe 300 maximum or 500, right? You will not go for 16,000 IP addresses. Second, say if you're not ready to expand your company, then you are supposed to go for a smaller. Then you can apply for the next IP address range. You can probably go for next VPC like that.
Depends on how many systems you use it.
Yeah, how many systems that you're going to use in the future. It is like, I mean, say you probably want to use only 4 instances today, 4 EC2 machines, 4 different services that you're running. Later, you feel like you are going to run around 100. From the day one itself, you can go for 500. Not like 16,000, at least 500,000 like that. It is depending on your workload that you are going to provision in AWS. Yeah.
So later also you can
Later you can increase, but it will add a lot of complexity. So it is better to always predict your future. See, if you not sure what will happen tomorrow, what is your plan for next year, then it is very difficult to probably you may have to do some adjustments. Okay, sure.
Okay, and the next would be a number of availability zones.
Availability zone.
High availability.
By default, at least you should have 2.
2.
Availability zones are numbered with the same one as region, but ending with AB. A means first one, B means second one. Availability zone 2. Availability zone 3 will be C. Like that, maximum availability zone in some region is around 6 or something, 5 or 6. 6, right? Okay.
And next would be the public subnets and private subnets.
So public subnets and private subnets. Public subnet is directly connected to the internet. Private subnets are not directly connected to the internet. There will be. That's what I told you. It's like a room. You're dividing the machines into different parts. One is in the public subnet, one is in the private subnet. Subnet means splitting into different smaller network. You understood?
Yeah.
So just make a note. See, networking is very, very important. Network infrastructure. See, VPC, CIDR. Just make a note. VPC. Ajit also make a note. VPC, CIDR, CIDR. CIDR means CIDR. And subnets, public subnets, private subnets, route tables, route table rules. Please read about all these things. At least create 2-page documentation and send it to me at end of the day. Say, then only you will have some understanding. Okay, create a document for sure. Okay, 2 pages document for whatever I have mentioned. Okay, sure, continue.
Yeah, and the next one would be
Here,
NAT gateway,
NAT
which is optional.
NAT gateway is all about making sure you have a connection between your private subnet and internet. For that, NAT gateway helps. See, it is slightly an advanced concept again. We don't need to really touch, but you can just make a note what is NAT gateway. Network address translation. It is like, say, I'll give you an example. You want to talk to your kids and then convey something, right? But that is something like some secret. What do? You and your wife will talk to yourself and then say some buzzwords and then you talk to your kids and then say, okay, this is like this, you should not do it. Maybe age factor, something like that you are telling, right? What do? You communicate in a different manner. Like that, between you and your wife, it is private, correct? But when it goes to your son, it becomes a public. But you are using some language inside. That is what is called a kind of that communication is called an NAT gateway. Just making sure that conversation is changed and communicated to the other people. Like that, NAT gateway will do. Even though it is in the private subnet, it will allow you to connect to the internet using NAT gateway. Okay. Is that example okay, Shiva?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
We are not using NAT gateway because NAT gateways are chargeable. So after some time, you will automatically be charged if you forget to remove the NAT gateways. Yeah.
Okay. VPC endpoint, is it required or none?
None.
Okay. I'm creating it. Additional tags are there, but we are not.
Any for VPC endpoint, Shiva?
Any
explanation or inputs if you have understanding?
for VPC endpoint?
Yeah, basically it is something like your NAT gateway, but it is cheaper.
Okay.
You can choose VPC endpoints that will act like a in your VPC that will act like a gateway that will allow your traffic to go out from your private subnet.
In this
Yes.
case, S3 gateway.
Yeah, in that case, S3 gateway can be used.
Okay.
You can go and create it. You can delete it. We can delete it immediately.
Okay. Now here it is showing the live status. What are going to create?
Creating VPC. So you can see that it is quite easy to create a VPC along with the subnets, along with the route tables.
Yeah, it's created.
Public subnet is connected to internet gateway. So just make sure internet gateway. Internet gateway similar to in your home, you have internet, right? Internet gateway is what? There. Your router. Hall is public subnet. Hall is a public subnet. What is the internet gateway? Your router, which is giving you internet, which is, say you switch off the router. Will you be able to connect to the internet? No, right? Once you switch on the internet, router, you will be able to connect to outside, correct? So that is what is actually a router that is acting as an internet gateway. Gateway means, think about only gate. Gateway means if you open the gate, you will be able to go out. If the gate is locked, now you will not be able to go out or come in. So gateway is like giving you entry and exit. So that is the way gateway works. Understand in different, in simple terms.
So
NAT gateway is like a bedroom. Only when you open the door, you will be able to access something in the bedroom. If the door is locked, you cannot open it like that. Yes. Yes, sure.
Yeah. Here the public subnets are connected via a route table and an internet gateway. And the private subnet connects it to the gateway, S3 gateway that we created.
S3 gateway. You can show the route tables. Okay, you can go to subnets. Can you click on the subnets on the left hand side? Can you click on the subnets? And then in the filter, search for the VPC that you just created. Just search for VPC ID. Yeah, just project VPC, right? That VPC just copied.
Yeah.
And the search in the find, can you go to the find, type VPC ID. You can type VPC ID. So you also just try to understand. You can type VPC ID. Yeah, you can select the VPC ID value.
This is not the ID.
What other one?
It is not showing for subnet.
Can you type VPC ID?
Is it?
VPC space ID. Is it not showing?
Not showing.
Okay, do one thing. Go all the way down. So
VPC is showing.
I think you need to refresh once. Can you refresh the screen once?
Yes, yes. It is showing now. It is showing correctly now.
So that's because of he just created the VPC and then the screen is not refreshed. That is what is not showing. So you can see the subnets available. You can also see the project VPC 1A and 1B, right? 1A is mostly public subnet. 1B is probably a private subnet. It depends on how you configure it because I did not notice it exactly initially. Okay, can you go to the route tables now? Or you can go from the subnet itself. First, select the first subnet. No, sure, it's okay. Select the first subnet. Yeah. You can click on the route table.
Yeah, here right.
You can see that it is connected to the. Can you see the right hand side? What is that? What is that? Can you read it out, Shiva? IGW. What is IGW?
Internet gateway.
Exactly. So it is connected to the internet gateway. That means it is a public subnet. You can go back to the subnets once again. Click on the subnets left hand side. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You can choose. No. Don't select the radio. Select the checkbox. Select the checkbox for the second one. Checkbox. Yeah. So now click on the route table. You can see internet gateway again. So it is not connected to this one. Okay. Can you go to this third one? Route table. See, it is a VPC endpoint that is connected to that is a private subnet. So whatever is connected to the internet gateway is a public subnet. Whatever is connected to the NAT gateway or VPC endpoint is like a private subnet. So that connection has to be translated, and then it has to come to the public subnet. Okay. So what you guys can do is you can create a you can create a VPC, simple VPC, and then you can create a VPC and more. Just observe things. That's more than enough. Apart from this, if you look at the route tables once again, can you go to the route tables? So you can see route table. So route table is like you are creating a table in which you are saying what rules are there. Route table is nothing but having some information or configuration about your routes. Can you click on the search and then search for VPC? You can choose a VPC ID. So now it will show you only the route tables associated to this particular one. So you can see that there are 4 route tables. One is project routes VP public, that you can just select on the left hand side. Select the checkbox. Okay, this one, just click on the routes. Yeah, you can see that there is a VPC endpoint, then it is a private route table. It depends on where it is attached. Subnet association. Can you click on the subnet association? It will show you to which subnet it is associated. It is associated to the particular particular subnet, that you can see whether it is see, it is a project subnet private US East 1A. That is a private subnet. We have named it as private and then we attached the VPC endpoint. You can select the second option in the on the top. On the top, just select the second one. Unselect the first one, just select the second one. This is subnet association. Can I click on the subnet association? It is just only local route. So there is nothing routed, there is nothing associated. You can go for the third one. So this is also again private subnet. You can see that this is also a private subnet. You can go to the third one. Sorry, the last one. That's a public one that you can see the internet gateway attached. You will have 2 subnets associated. You can see that 2 subnets associated. What are those 2 subnets? Those are the 2 public subnets. So here, say today we are seeing creating VPC and other resources through console. The same thing from tomorrow we'll create it from Terraform. Okay, Terraform is infrastructure as code tool. Okay, you try to understand what we are doing. So we are trying to show you manually how we are creating, and then we'll show you how to create from Terraform. Then you will understand any resource that you want to create, you can create through Terraform instead of console, because you will be saving a lot of time for creating the resources. And it will be managed by source code management tool, SCM. So there are 3 things connected: source code management tool, GitLab, and Terraform, GitLab, and AWS. You are able to understand, right? Git is where you write all the code. GitLab is where you store all the code. Terraform is the Terraform is the software that you are trying to use it to create the resources, and it is connected to AWS. So there are 4 different pieces. Ajit, can you repeat what are the 4 different pieces?
Sir, GitLab, Git Bash, and Terraform, AWS console.
Yeah, correct. So what is the connection, from where the connection goes?
GitLab is a source code we are creating, and stores in the GitLab. And Terraform, we enter the code which connected to the AWS console. And AWS console is our resource which
No,
has
not
been
AWS. Don't say AWS console. It is connected to AWS account. That's all.
okay, AWS account.
How do we connect to AWS account from command line?
So,
Using access key and secret key. So the way to connect to AWS account from command line from Terraform is using access key and secret key, which is configured in AWS CLI. Shiva, can you show the git bash and show the profile file, credentials file? So if you can just look at it, cat tilt /aws/credentials. You can see that the credentials are stored here. You can see the access key and secret key, right? Similarly, you will also have access key and secret key in your credentials file. That is what is enabling you to connect to the AWS account. Otherwise, you will not be able to do anything. If you run Terraform init, Terraform plan, Terraform apply, will not work if you don't have this particular file. Ajit, you are clear on this?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly, can you show the config file? Sure.
Which config center?
Yeah, use app arrow, just remove credentials and then config. This is a file which is okay, which is used for your configuration. I mean, what is the region in which you are talking to? What is the format that you want to get an output? Can you run AWS S3 LS? Sure. AWS S3 LS.
Seems it won't work, Shankar, because I haven't configured.
You haven't configured. Are you
No.
sure? But I see the.
I mean, those are old values. Those are old values.
These are old ones. Okay. Okay. So the access key provided is not correct. That is why it is not working. So he has a old configuration. He has not done it because recently his account got billed and then he has not paid. So he has removed access key and secret keys.
So if you want to show, quickly will generate access key and secret key.
I'll share my screen in this case. Is it visible? Is my screen visible? Ajit?
Ah, yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay. Say AWS S3 LS. I'm able to see two buckets listed, right?
Yes, one is AWS and another one is my bucket Shankar.
Correct. So, for example, if I do a vim space .aws/credentials, if we make some changes in the access key or secret key. I'm just adding K to it, okay. And if I do AWS S3 LS, it will not work because it refers to the particular file for authentication, credentials file for authentication. And then the next one is, say I'll just modify this. Again, I'll modify to the original one. And I'll do a AWS S3 LS, then it will work fine. The next one is all about how Terraform is using this one. Say, for example, if we want to do a /, say I'll just directly go for Terraform init. It will automatically configure the plugins, the information I have in the credentials file. Say, for example, if I'm modifying this file once again, you'll ultimately see that Terraform init command also fails. If not Terraform init, the Terraform plan will fail because Terraform plan will try to connect to the AWS account and try to check how many resources it will be created. In that case, the Terraform plan will fail. See, you can see that retrieving AWS account details is failing. Validating provider credentials, retrieving caller identity is failing. That means it is not able to use a credentials file to log in. See, I'll just change the credentials file once again and run this. This time it will succeed and tell me how many resources will be created. See, can you see that? 5 to add, 0 to destroy. So automatically the plan started working based on credentials file. So what you should understand is the credentials file is always connected to your Terraform if you are running it locally. Okay, that has to be very clear. Okay, Ajit, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Sure. Shiva, any points you want to add?
No, Shankar.
Okay. See, as long as we are running everything from Git Bash, it is perfectly fine. What is the next step for us? Ajit, can you tell me? After executing everything from Git Bash, what we are going to do next?
Need to check in console, sir, whether it's correct or not.
That is okay. See, in terms of our AWS DevOps learning, what will be our next step?
Monitoring.
Initially, sorry?
Monitoring?
No. Continuous integration.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so we are doing everything manually for now. So we are running /deploy.sh or running Terraform init, Terraform plan, Terraform apply. So that is manual stuff. But what exactly we want to achieve? As soon as the code is checked into the branch or the repository, you want to run the pipeline. So you want to run the pipeline. Pipeline means pipeline where it is going to run? In GitLab CI. In GitLab CI, the pipeline will be running. What is the interface it will use? It will use its own interface, that is nothing but a GitLab runner. Okay, you cannot use your Git Bash. It is like, say, at your home. If you are, if you want to have a small sleep, I mean, if you want to sleep in the night, what do? You just go to the bedroom and sleep, right? But if you are traveling outside, will you be able to still use your own pillow, own bed, and everything, right? No, you cannot use. You have to use the other resource which is available in the hotel or maybe other rooms, whatever is it. Similarly, you are using GitLab CI for automation. You have to use the interface which is provided by GitLab. That is nothing but your GitLab runner. We'll see in the upcoming classes what is GitLab runner, how to run GitLab CI. Okay, we have just 1 more minute or 2 more minutes. Any questions from anyone? Okay. If not, we can call it we can say that the meeting is ended. Any questions? Ajit?
Right now, for me, not anything.